Let's go. Let's have a drink. Let's run. Yep, definitely. Let's do this. The safe house is in the woods. Okay, got it. So let's head into the fucking woods. Done. Here we are. At the fucking safe house. So, how come you went to jail? Because of school fucking shooting, that's what I did. I killed all of the students and teachers there. I with no witnesses. What are you in here for? Attempted murder? Fair enough. I'll show you where. As you can see, the front area. Nice. Fireplace. Dinner table, a clock here. Then the backyard, nothing special. Then the kitchen. Cool. This is your room. Fair enough. Then my room. And the spare bed. And yeah, though, you know, attic. Cool. I know. So yeah, you can chill out there or chill in here. It's up to you. I'll have a chill out here, okay. Yo, fuck yeah, safe house.
Hired hands now.
Hell
and
yeah,
the cemetery itself required constant care. So I assumed all functions of a manager, and also was responsible for communicating with relatives of the deceased. And my husband got all the internal affairs of our company under control. Pam, however, distanced herself from us even further, as if she did not understand that we weren't making money out of thin air. We earned all the money for her fancy courses, books, and fashion items, thanks to the very cemetery that she hated so much. It was simply impossible to tell her the obvious. She really wanted us to retire the business, but in that case, we'd have nothing to eat, and she'd have to forget about entering the university after school. I've tried to explain the situation to her time and time again, but ultimately, all of that was in vain. Pam threw some weird... It took several months, but eventually, I was making as much money from YouTube as I was from the shoe store. It was at this time I realized I could turn this into my full-time career. The next day, I quit my job from the shoe store so I could invest more time in what I loved doing, making vlogs. I thought my parents were mad at me before for wanting to be a theater major, but now they were furious. They didn't even know what YouTube was, and when they heard that I quit my minimum wage job, they lost all hope. They figured they must be spoiling me, since I obviously don't know how hard it is.
Oh, another cabin. Huh. I'm talking out of character, so okay, so that's for VIPs. Fortunately, to tell you the truth, I don't have money to buy anything right now. When I do, sure, I will buy that, and I will buy my house back. So, yeah. But, until then, the character is gonna live in a normal, you know, that big one, instead of that small one. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. Why did I walk back? I wanna go see, but oh well. Since I walked back here, I may as well chill out here. Press play. Hey,
they wanted to
kid.
show me some tough love.
Give a chop.
Kicked me out of the house.
I'm going to order up a pizza. Some peaches. Do you want any? Yes, please. This is double. No, this is cheese pizza would do. Cool, gotcha.
But one
Thanks.
piece of good
You're
news
welcome,
did
kid.
come out of all of this. All of this drama with my family, being kicked out of the house, living with my friend's family, and now apartment searching made my YouTube views skyrocket. I was now making $200 to $300 a day off of my vlogs. One day, when I was apartment searching, I saw an RV parked on the side of the road saying it was for sale. I then got the idea that I could be a travel vlogger. This would make my videos way more interesting, and I would get more views. The RV will pay for itself in no time. And let me tell you, my subscribers agreed. Over the next couple of months, the amount of views on each video doubled. I treated my subscribers like family, since my family basically disowned me. I kept them along for the ride, and had them comment about where I should go next, and what I should do there. Once I read the comments and saw where everyone wanted me to go, I told them where I would be, so they can meet up with me, and even have a chance to be in the vlogs themselves. I was having the time of my life. In some vlogs, I went surfing with the subscribers, and other times, I went on hikes. Sometimes if the crowds were too large, I would choose one lucky subscriber to join me for the whole day. These times were especially fun because I could watch my dreams come true, as well as theirs. And because it was only one subscriber, I was able to pay for crazy adventures, such as a helicopter.
Yeah, buddy.
For crazy adventures, such as a helicopter ride or a concert. Being this personal with my subscribers is what set me apart from other travel vloggers, and my subscribers were loving it. I would continue to invest in my YouTube channel to buy crazier adventures and make my vlogs bigger and better. But eventually, I was making so much that I would have money left over to save. Now, I'm a very visual person, so although I keep some money in the banks for convenience, I kept the majority in a secret box under my bed. It was so rewarding to actually see the piles of money grow instead of just numbers on a screen. I was thinking what I should save up for. As much as I like the RV, it would be nice to have a house to come back to every once in a while. The RV is a little cramped and sometimes I stay in hotels, but they never quite feel like home. If I could find a house that I could relax in, I bet I could recharge my creativity and make my vlogs that much better. I didn't want to rush into buying a house because I want one that really spoke to me. Also, I felt like my subscribers were the ones I needed to thank for this opportunity. So when I went house hunting, I wanted them to vote in the comments which house they wanted to see me in. As I was telling you earlier, sometimes I stay in hotels. I usually do this because I can make deals with the hotels where they'll pay me to stay there and give my honest opinion about it. This was a really sweet deal. Well, until recently. The last time I stayed in a hotel, something strange happened while I was getting checked in at the lobby. I saw a couple of people looking out the window of the lobby, looking very concerned. I asked them what the problem was, and they said they saw a guy that looked a little suspicious break into a window of an RV. I ran outside to witness the horrifying truth. It was my RV. I saw the thief open up the door from the inside. He had my jewelry around his neck, some of my camera gear, and worst of all, my box full of money was already at me. He knew should I continue so they can see me in person? But I'm really scared right now. My subscribers were my family, ever since my own family disowned me. But now, even one of my subscribers turned on me, so I don't know if I can even trust them.
Hi everyone, my name is Janice, and I'm a shopaholic. And if you think that it's not a problem, just know that I spend $20,000 a month on clothes. And at the
Because
same
your
time,
parents
I make
never
only
said no.
$2,000 per month. When I was a kid, I never had many things to call my own. My parents literally lived in a trailer, in a motorhome, and raised me there. They weren't actually poor, depressed, or unhappy. At the contrary, it was their philosophy of life. They were trying to avoid any attachments to material things and lived chasing bright memories and impressions. We often changed cities and countries, but those were not actually travels or something like that. Rather, we were constantly trying to escape from debts. Of course, I wasn't fond of such a life, but no one listened to the child. So, I had no books, no toys, and the only clothes I got were those donated by people not ashamed to provide help to that crazy family. I still can't understand why the child services paid no attention to the situation. Well, I do have a suspicion that the cops just did not venture into the areas where we lived. Normal people didn't usually go in there. Typically, trailer parks were situated in the slums, which were divided between the gangs with all of the underlying consequences: drugs, gunfights, zero law influence, all that stuff. School. I suspect my parents did so only because of the allowance that I should be paid as a poor child. The law gave them money to spend on the school form and preparation for school. I was allotted free food, free transportation, and the right to receive some education for free without paying any money. I didn't mind. At least the state cared for me. But even in a public school, where people had scholarships and allowances, I still turned out to be a black sheep. All the other parents tried to give their children some nice clothes. Some of my girl classmates even had very original school blouses with embroidery and elaborate ribbons. And all the things I wore to school were bought on sale or in charity shops because my parents wanted to spend more money on themselves. And my cheap backpack was made of poor fabric. When it rained, everything inside got wet, and my textbooks often turned into gray porridge. My pens were low cost and simple. My notebooks were just yellow, blue, or gray, with no beautiful pictures on them. Each day I envied my classmates. It seemed to me that I'd be happy if I had any of those beautiful things, and that no happiness was possible without them. And then I promised myself that when I grew up, I would certainly buy myself only the best clothes and things possible. The studies were my only hope of climbing the social ladder, so I studied hard. At the age of 15, I got my first real job. More precisely, I simply distributed newspapers to neighboring houses during summer.
It's the police!
Still, money was money, and I earned a lot for a
Fuck
schoolgirl.
you.
And then I received the allowance by myself for the first time. Put it together with...
Oh, hi there. My name is Isaac. I am 15 years old. I live here by myself. My parents ditched me when I was young. But I forgave them. But I'm joined for the day. I live in the west side of Sunnyside in Glenwood State in America. Let me show you around. Lounge room, dinner table, kitchen, bathroom, then up here we have spare bedroom and another spare bedroom. This is my room. This my room here. So yeah. Today is Friday. Monday I start my new high school. I just moved here to Sunnyside in the south side of Sunnyside City in Glenwood State by myself.
Yet Mom just ordered me to throw away my plan and continue my studies at high school. Still, I'm really glad that almost all of my old classmates are finally gone. Maybe this year, I will be able to make some friends. Or maybe my new classmates will just communicate with me. That alone would be really nice.
Hi y'all, I'm Nicole, Alice's former classmate and friend. And here's my part of the story. I'm sure you'll need it to fully understand the situation. I first met Alice in middle school. My family moved into the big city not that long ago. And I had no idea what my former friend's life was like when she was a grade schooler. I wasn't the only newcomer though. There were many of us. And truth be told, the class became pretty diverse. The kids who studied here since preschool tried to help us in every way possible, though. Yet, there was one strange moment. Those kids had told us newcomers that Alice wasn't a girl to try and make friends with. They actually warned us about it. At that moment, I thought that Alice was just one of those people who inadvertently became the laughingstock in any company. I didn't want it to be that way, so I decided to become that change. I originally thought that Alice was the unfortunate victim of some elementary school incident. She may have pissed herself in public, or accidentally taken someone's breakfast, or something crazy like that. And now she had to live with that undeserved stigma. How terribly unfair! You see, no one was actually able to tell me why Alice was such bad company. So I just believed that she was a poor, unfortunate soul, and I decided to change that for her. I approached her myself and asked her to be my friend. Funny thing is, she reacted to my proposal not with happiness, but with fear. I got the impression that Alice only expected bad things from those around her. But still, she agreed, and soon we began to hang out together. In a few days, I figured out that her mom was the headmistress. Alice didn't actually tell me about that. I figured that out all by myself. Furthermore, I was actually startled that she didn't tell me anything about it. I mean, that wasn't really a big deal after all. There was no need to keep it a secret. I've studied with kids of teachers and other school officials before. Those boys and girls were just normal teenagers, just like their peers. Besides, I'm pretty sure that being a teacher's child is great. I told Alice about that, and my newfound friend loosened up a bit. Alice told me that our classmates don't want to have anything in common with her because of her mom. Apparently, the kids were sure that the headmistress mom was lenient with her or something. At first, I believed it. You see, kids will often make someone a pariah just because of some terrible rumors, so Alice's version was pretty plausible. But in a few weeks, I realized that none of our classmates made any connections between Alice and her mom. Alice's mom, the headmistress, was actually respected by kids and adults alike. Alice, on the other hand, both teachers and pupils agreed that Alice's mom was all around cool. That woman did a lot for our school, made it into a prestigious academic institution. Our pupils could even get diplomas of various sports, photography, and art classes. And those diplomas were recognized by all the colleges and universities of our country. Suffice it to say, people loved Alice's mother. You'd think they'd love Alice too, right? If only out of respect for her mom. But still, even the teachers sometimes whispered that Alice was not at all like her mother. Alice was rumored to be rude, lazy, and an entitled girl. Well, later on, I realized that both the teachers and my classmates spoke the truth. Alice didn't like studying at all. All she loved was gossiping and telling on people. If you happened to mention any personal secret in class and Alice was nearby, be assured that secret would turn into public domain information in no time. And of course, she leaked all the worthwhile information directly to the teachers and even to the headmistress. Of course, Alice would always try to put on such a good girl face. But she was never successful because in the end, she never really cared about it all that much. She wasn't afraid of any repercussions. My mom's the headmistress, and you can't do anything to me. Those were the exact words she would tell anyone who tried to talk to her. She even had the nerve to tell that to our teachers, for God's sake. That sounded horrible and looked no better. Alice was confident that she could act with impunity, and her smug face was just awful. We were friends for only about half a year, and then I snapped. I tried talking to her. I tried telling her that what she was doing was wrong, and such a way of communication could only bring her harm, and that being smug wasn't going to get you everything. But I failed. So soon, naturally, we broke away. I joined the majority of our classmates and tried to just ignore Alice from then on. And of course, she was sure that I hideously ditched her. Alice always thought that she was the righteous one, and all the others were wrong. She never even tried to think about why those with her. Big mistake.
Hi everybody, my name is Mila, and I want to tell you my terrible story which still haunts me in my nightmares. The thing is, I killed 2 people. Not with my own arms, but with my actions. That day we were sitting in the classroom as usual. It was just another day. Like many others before, Allison and Victoria were
Poison. Rocket. Tomorrow is Saturday. Yeah, buddy. Head to bed. Is this my room? Or is this spare room? Let's have a walk. Spare room and a spare room. So yeah, this is my room here. Head to bed. 7 in the morning. Unlock my car. Unlock my door. Lock it back up. Let's head out, yo. Let's chill over here, buddy. Let's chill down here. Why not? Let's chill. Chill here.
Let's not jump ahead.
More
When I thought of
blunt.
a safe place to keep my money at, I somehow ended giving my savings to my parents. Yeah, I could put the money in the bank or just get a piggy.
New shapes, mini bites, light crunch, big flavor.
bank or just get a piggy bank, but for some reason, I entrusted them to my mom. So month after month, I gave all the earned money to her for safekeeping. I was confident that my parents would keep my meager savings intact, so I worked, lived, and dreamed about graduation. I even got a personal invitation. A boy who sat next to me in school asked me to go to prom together, and I said yes. Of course, he wasn't the school's best looking guy, but he was okay, and I needed a partner. And so the time had finally come. I made an arrangement with the seamstress and needed only to give her my sketches, along with the measurements and the down payment. And then I received the mind-shattering news. My mom told me that the money was gone. Honestly, I almost fainted because of her words. How was it even possible? I wrote down everything, and I knew exactly how much I had saved. But my mother just shrugged and said that Mary took my money to pay for some of her courses. My mom was sure that my sister and I had some agreement, so she gave her all my savings. You have no idea how I felt at that moment. My beloved sister, who helped me prepare for the prom, did my hairstyles, and perfectly knew how important it was for me, just destroyed all of my dreams. Moreover, in fact, Mary robbed me. I felt decimated and horrified at the same time. Naturally, my parents did not help me with the dress at all. Dad considered the prom party the prime example of female stupidity and wasn't going to give me any money for the dress. And Mom just offered to buy me some simple dress on sale. She even gave me some money. $15 as I remember, and that was all. She thought it was my fault that I couldn't take care of my own money.
So we
After all
join
that,
now.
I did not go to prom. I had a grand quarrel with Mary, then locked myself in my room and cried for the whole evening and left to college the very next day. Since then, I don't communicate with my sister and with my parents. Yep, Mom may have made a mistake, but she could have asked me at the very least. I trusted her. She knew that it was important to me and still behaved as if it was something insignificant. Therefore, I don't trust my parents anymore. Yet most of all, I hate my sister. She betrayed me, destroyed everything I hold dear, and robbed me at the same time. Funny thing is that she's still trying to talk to me. As if I have something to talk to her about anymore.
Hello everyone, I'm Masha, and Berta accuses me of having stolen her money. Unfortunately, she is sure of that and she doesn't even want to listen to me. Therefore, I'll tell you my version of events, and you'll have to make this conclusion yourself. I felt very happy when Alberta was born. At that time, I had an impression that she was a present for me, some kind of super doll if you want. I really enjoyed playing with her, dressed her up, and talked to her. The only thing left for my mom to do was to change her diapers and feed her. We grew up, and at some point, I noticed that my mother was behaving a bit strange. Sure, she still loved both of us, and she did everything with good intentions. But the result was controversial, to say the least. Let me give you a quick example. Berta had some real problems with her studies. Well, it happens with everyone. Not all of us are born geniuses. But when I encountered similar problems as a kid, my parents simply paid a tutor who did the explaining. The tutor was too young and naive to notice what my parents did. Mom and Dad totally gave up on her and made it look so that my poor sister considered herself guilty of everything. They've even threatened to make her stay at home during prom if she didn't do what they wanted her to. They told Berta that everything was for her.
I guess I will see you whenever. Most likely tomorrow. But for now, I'll be chilling, going home, sleeping. You know, the usual what I do. You know what I mean? So I'll catch her whenever I catch her, I guess, for now. Bye for now. Peace out, my motherfucker.